So I'm here starting a new live. Again, I managed to go quite early. It's 5 o'clock, 10 to 5 here in Belgium. Just checking now that everything is working well. And yeah, welcome to anybody that wants to join to talk here. Just checking if this is appearing here somewhere. For it. See, here it is. Since that the live is working. And today no more zombies. So I've painted all the zombies from the core city and no more zombies to paint. So let me do first, as usual, a little bit of channel update. Okay, this is working well. The voice is coming. Make was working well today, and I will remove. Okay, I will keep this thing here just in case I need to follow up. I need additional screen because maybe I will go there to look. So what I'm painting now, just let me show you. So let me show you first. The Death Walker zombies will appear tomorrow in the channel. Hi, 12 Nif. Thanks a lot for joining. I hope you're doing well. So this what I've been painting. Okay, so these are the big guys from the Kur City. And today we are going to be painting the second one that we have here, okay? So I have to, you can see, it's missing some washes to go to the same level. Playing with them. I also painted, painting the warband, the Hexbane hunters. Really nice warband. I'm enjoying a lot painting them. On the Night Wars Unknowns. What do you mean about the Night Wars? I haven't seen that. So yeah, thoughts about the Night Wars. Is it something from? Because I don't know what is this. Can you give me some more clues? I wanted to talk about. Ah, yeah. Sorry. No, the course. Yeah, I will talk about that. So I'm going to talk about the Nova. Just first sharing here. You can see. Yeah. I know what you mean. I wanted to have an expansion. I don't have the miniatures that are needed for the expansion, and I have a little bit of divided opinion, right? For one side, I'm glad they have released an expansion for Core City, or they will release an expansion for Core City. I guess will be this autumn. Okay, I hope they release at the same time the basic game because I don't think it's available now. And thank you for the for the thank you for your opinion on the painting. And then I would like. I was expecting more. I wanted to have expansion with miniatures inside. Okay. I see the point. I understand. I fully understand why they did that because a lot of people have some of these miniatures already, so they did not want that the people have a duplicate of the miniatures. But in my case, that I don't have any, I have a little bit of divided opinion. Right. I like that there is expansion. I would have preferred expansion with miniatures inside. What I think happened here, and this is guessing. I don't have any clue on that, right? But this is my guessing. I think this expansion, or these miniatures were designed, or this expansion was supposed to be released when the Core City was released a year ago, or more than a year ago. Okay, I think this was the expansion they were thinking to release. So the Core City, the Soul Blight book, and then the expansion with all these vampires inside. I think this was the base plan of Wayne's Workshop. For any reason, they had problems. They had problems with the Core City, and then they had to review all the planning they had on this on the releases, right? And then because they had this problem with the core city, they decided to release the miniatures outside of the. Hi, Jacob. Thanks a lot for joining. I think they decided to launch it in the way they launch it. No, if I will buy the rules. I don't think I will buy all the miniatures, and I will think I will buy the evolution of this guy. Okay, I will buy the big guy. Okay, we have here Radukar, and I think I will buy the expansion of Radukar. For the others, I have the vampires from the Warhammer Underworlds. In the worst case, I use these vampires as enemies. So there are enough vampires. I have enough vampires in my collection to. So I'm not obliged to use the ones that they have put there. If I want to buy them, I will buy them. But for example, for the classic vampire, they want to have the bats at the back. I think I will use most likely one of the vampires that I already have from the Warhammer Underworlds. The vampire rat, I like it a lot, and maybe I end up buying as well the woman. I like these two vampires. So, but for this guy, most likely the purchase I will do once the expansion is released, I will also buy the upgrade of this guy. Okay, because I think this guy the miniature is awesome, a nice challenge to paint, and I think this is my opinion. But I think this have been adaptation of the base plan. I think the expansion was supposed to come with the miniatures, and because they have problems with the core city, they decide to reshuffle everything, and this is why I think we have this weird expansion without miniatures. But I don't have clue on that. Okay, so this is how I will handle. So depending on my budget, I will buy all the miniatures or not. For the bats, I have other bats in my collection. I don't know if I will buy the fellbacks or not. Okay, for the big guy, I like it a lot, so most likely we'll end up buying the big guy. But if you count, if the expansion is for, let's put a number, for 40 euros, all the other miniatures is another 150 euros. Okay, so we're talking about an expansion technically of almost 200 euros if you want all the miniatures. So I will stop this screen now. So this is why I'm divided. I'm glad that I have an expansion for the game. I'm glad that they are keep supporting the game. I would have preferred a different expansion with miniatures inside. But yeah, I understand. Also understand why they did it in this way. I think it makes sense in a way because a lot of people already have these miniatures. Yeah, I think more than 40 euros is too much. So it should cost the same as a maximum as a battle tome. If it's more than a battle tome, I think it's going to be too expensive for carton. But this is just my personal opinion, and yeah, let's see when it comes out what they do. And I wanted to talk about Nova as well. All the things we have seen for Nova. Yeah, yeah. I think that you don't need. Yeah, if you play by, but if I need to wait to buy the models until I play, maybe I may never buy the models because sometimes I don't. Yeah, I don't know. Although I want to start a campaign of Core City, I think it's going to be a good moment to start a campaign for Core City. So yeah, and I think Radukar, the when he's becoming almost a werewolf, a vampire werewolf, I think it's really a nice miniature, and I really want to buy it. So the free Botan model. What do you mean the free Botan model? Sorry if today I'm a little bit slow. I don't understand the free Botan model. something that I missed. What I ordered is the free model from. I ordered the Vindicator, the Vindicare, sorry, assassin. So I know that it's on my way. The Vindicare assassin. I expect to receive it. I hope next week. And this, yeah, maybe I will do a special project for him because I already have. I think I already have two metal Vindicares. So this will be my first plastic Vindicare assassin. But I love this. I love the assassin. I did not order the orc. Is that what you were referring to? The and then we should receive the voucher, the 10 euros voucher. That maybe I will keep it to buy the expansion for the core city. So I don't know. I don't think I understand you. What is the if that is the Vindicare model from the core city? Yes, I ordered it and it's on my way. I don't know if you're referring to a different model. Okay. I don't go the. I did not go to the Games Workshop store. Sorry. No, I did not go to the Games Workshop store. So this is why I don't have. Yeah, no, I understand what you mean. Sorry for the misunderstanding. No, I don't have it. I'm not. So maybe we can talk about the Botan a little bit. So Botan is a faction, but I never been fan of the squads or dwarf in general. I never been a big fan of these stunty guys. Okay, but yeah, and then I think that they're doing a job that is it's a more modern view of the squads because the squads when I started in second edition, yeah, the squads was an army, right? And they had equivalent miniatures to the Terminators. The squads were super heavy armored army with super thick armors. That is what we are seeing now with the leaks of Votan, right? So there are guys that are hyper armored and hyper weaponized, right? They have a lot of weapons as well. So it's not going to be an army that I will collect. I will start by this point because I never been fan of these short guys. Okay, but I think yeah, and I understand that some people complain that they look like Space Marine, but in the past used to be a little bit the same. They were super armored guys, and when you put a lot of armor, you can see and thick armor, then you can be very similar to Space Marine. In reality, if you look the design of the Space Marine, the design of the Space Marine were based on the Chaos Warriors from fantasy. Yeah, I was reading an article where they were explaining the origin of the Space Marines, and the origin of the Space Marines were the Chaos Warriors from the fantasy. So yeah, if you like dwarf, I think that there are some nice miniatures. The only one I find a little bit weird, and I like they have these automata robots with them. It seems that according to the lore, they share this with the Tau, if I'm not wrong, something like that. I don't know. I need to read more about the lore of the Leagues of Votan because it's completely new, a new lore for me. I'm not familiar with them, but I think that they look nice. And if yeah, I don't know. Maybe in the future I paint one, but I think I will not paint. I will paint them in a different color. But yeah, I think Nova overall Nova have shared a lot of news. Okay, I think now we know all the lineup of the Leagues of Wotan, all the different units that they will release at once. Also, we have seen the that they will release the box. They will have 2 vehicles. So I think it's going to be a nice lineup, very armored. And what is weird that they have that the full codex or the full stats have been leaked. So all the stats of the Leagues of Wodan have been leaked. Hi Elric, thanks for joining. Elric, so you're coming from the from Stonebringer. One of the role games, Stonebringer, one of the role games from the 80s, 90s, 90s more than 80s. I was playing a lot of role in the 90s, but I never had the opportunity to play Stormbringer. So Elric of Melibone. So I think Nova overall was a good amount of releases. I think was one of the best shows they did in the last because they have released. Yeah, Leagues of Wotan. I will not buy them. It's not for me, but I think they are doing a good job. Although there is a lot of critics, so they had to modernize the look that they had in the 80s, 90s. Okay, I don't see them now with a chopper bike and a tricycle bike running in the 40K battlefield these days. They were super 80s oriented in that moment, but I think they did. The only thing that I'm yeah maybe the method that I like the less is the new bike. Maybe they should have put wheels instead of making them fly. But yeah, but no, we go to the personal taste, right? And this is always very personal, as I said, right? So if you like one thing more than the other, it depends a lot on from person to person. So, but I think overall, it's going to be an interesting release, and I'm wondering how they how they will shape the meta of the game. Again, I'm not a competitive Warhammer 40,000 player. I am not really a tournament player. So let's see. Then we have seen as well the new Berserkers. I go by game by game. Okay. Uh, they will have much more options than they used to have in close combat weapons. I think, yeah, the unit of Berserkers was needing to be modernized. So I'm glad they have done that. And I think the modernization is quite nice. I really like what they have done with the Berserkers. So I don't have any complaint on the Berserkers. I think it's a correct job, and I may buy some because Berserkers is one Berserkers is one of my favorite factions in the Chaos. I have a lot of Berserkers. I already had a Demon King, a Corn Demon King army in the past. So I think I will most likely I will maybe buy a box to paint a unit of Berserkers. Although I have a lot of Chaos pending to be painted. And then what else we had? We had as well. Then if we go to Warhammer Underworld, that is the game I'm playing the most now these days. Warhammer Underworld is the game I play almost every 2 weeks if I can. Okay, we're playing there in Brussels. I find the corn. I like it. I like the corn. This thing is going to be interesting. Warband. It looks very strong, and I like a lot the ability they put on the priest. I like a lot the ability because he's a Slaughter Priest, the guy that I'm not too convinced on the spiky thing that the Slaughter Priest has at the back. I don't think it need that. It looks. Hi, Boldor. Thanks a lot for joining. So I'm not too convinced about but I like a lot the brute, the corn brute that comes in the warband. I think it's a overall. I think it's going to be a nice warband. Okay, and yeah, of course I will collect this one. I'm sure, 100% sure I will buy it because I'm collecting all the warbands from Warhammer Underworlds, and I'm really enjoying painting them. On top, I have a corn army in Age of Sigmar, a small corn army. It's mainly because it's based on the starting set box and the Gore Chosen and some other miniatures I have, scattered miniatures I have here there, and demons from 40k that I can use. Okay, and I think I will of course buy this warband for sure. No, I have not played with the new Warcry rules. I don't even have the rules, although I'm trying to buy just the book. I did not want to buy the full set because yeah, there is a moment that I need to economize money, and I did not have the opportunity to play with the new rules. I'm just trying to buy because this is one thing. It's a little bit upsetting to me that they don't release the rules, just the book of the rules. That you need to buy the kit, and I don't want more miniatures. So I'm trying to buy the book in the second-hand market, especially in eBay is where I'm looking. And so far, the only opportunities I have is in UK, and I'm very cautious to buy to UK because of Brexit. Because if you don't, you are not careful, you are smashed in the customs, and I want to avoid that. Okay, so this is why I did not play yet the new Warcry. Yeah. I know I need to. Yeah, I know that they are free, but I want to buy the core book. I don't like to read on PDF. Maybe I should print them. Maybe I have to print them. I have them. I download it. The point is, I've been playing more as well Warhammer Underworld these days. I need to find a player or maybe convince my kids to do just. Yeah, you're right. Maybe next weekend I will try to see if I can do something at home, just to test the rules. Yeah, there's a moment that you don't have enough time for everything. I did not play 40k for a long time now. I did not play 40k for a long time now. But when I say a long time, I mean maybe 3 months. Yeah, I'm more a painter than a player. So I paint much more than I play. I was just reading your comments, and yeah, I'm still in the paper wall. I did not jump into the digital yet. Maybe I should jump into the digital, but I like to read. Yeah, yeah. I think the problem is I'm painting so much that I don't give time myself to read as I used to read about. When I have a free time, I like to paint. So this is the maybe the main reason. But I will need to do a try to the new rules. I know that now they have put some reactions that make the game more interactive, and I think this is quite an interesting thing. Yeah, I paint a lot and I don't play that much. The reaction changed the game. It's what I hear, so this is why I wanted to give a try. Maybe I should, yeah. What I will do, I think I will print the rules, the free rules, and I will deep read them and start playing. But I should use at least all the meters I invested in Warcry. So I have an ad here that is in the middle of the. Okay, glad to hear that the game is it's improving. So this is good. So then I will follow your. Yeah, I know that I have enough collection to. I have, yeah, with just with my Stonecast Eternals, I have 3 warbands. If I then I look at the chaos that I have, I also have another warband, and then I have the let's call this Skaven. So warbands I have, and then I have the 2 warbands from the first, the Untam Beast and the Iron Golems. So I should have enough to play. This I agree with you. Yeah, this I think this is one of the good things I did with Warcry. That if you have Age of Sigmar collection, it's very easy to jump into Warcry. And I think this was well, at least well done by Games Workshop. So I will see if I can convince my kids to play. Maybe you can give a try tomorrow, but I need to convince my kids just to make a trial. But there are so many. The problem of the kids with the video games are very difficult to convince to drop the video game to play another thing. Especially mine are in Minecraft, and they spend so much time in Minecraft they don't want to play other things. Even it's hard for me to watch a film with them because they don't want to watch any film. They don't like films because they say that it's too long. I think we are going to a mindset that we want everything instantaneously in our. Yeah, we don't want to. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, let's see if I can convince my kids to play it. And what I like is Warcry are fast games. So, because ideally I would like to make a campaign with my sons. But anyway, I will try to buy the book because I will also like to have the core book. I also one of the friends that I play Warhammer Underworld with, he also wants to play some Warcry, so maybe I can also try to do that. Yeah, maybe I can ask them to set up the terrain. It's curious because they can spend hours and hours just making, well, they are making like a whole city. And it's they can spend hours and hours and hours building a city. This is why I like Minecraft, because I think there is a lot of creativity there. Okay, it's digital creativity, but at the end there is creativity. Okay, so I like that of Minecraft. So this is why I am not too, yeah, of the video games. Is maybe the video game I'm one of these video games that I like it. Okay, and I know myself I don't play Minecraft because if I will start playing Minecraft, I maybe stop painting. Because it's the type of games that I would have been playing if I was a kid. So, but this is a good point. Maybe I can convince them to help me to set up the terrain, and they get more engaged. Let's see. Yeah, and then I will have quite a challenging fall and start of the winter, because I'm planning to move before end of the year. So I will need to pack all my miniatures. I will need to pack all my stuff. And just thinking about that, I have some fears. Okay, let's let it dry. So let me show you. This is the other one I'm painting now. It will smooth a little bit the fire here. The wrong part. Smoother. I always think that the dark part is. No, I will use black and flesh. So I went to the face of this guy. I love this warband. I think this is really nice warband. And I discovered a contrast paint that I find that is super nice. I find a contrast paint that I think it's super nice. Let me show to make leather. Is this one. Garagax Sewer. With this paint is how I did the bottom part of this guy. Okay, if you want some dark leather, and then I use Baneblade Brown to make some scratches and highlights. So I also did, this is one of the dogs. This one was, I use this one contrast, the new contrast, Rattling Grim. And it's a very dark gray with a brown tonality. And then I highlight it with Baneblade Brown. And I even use a little bit of Blacker Face some places. And I'm very happy how the dog looks like, the doggy. Okay. The doggy, what you have to be careful, we'll show you this one, because when you paint it, you will have the split line in the worst place, right here. This really, well, it's split on the joint line, sorry, it's not, and as well on the middle of the head, right? So here you can dissimulate, so when you highlight, you have to highlight in a way that you dissimulate a lot this line. So this dark tone, and then this is the Garak, this jacket is just Garak Seaward, just that one. I really like it as well, the hat. So I think it's really nice. Now I will use, you can use even, you can use Gotham Brown and Bainbridge Brown to do that, or you can go more in yellowish. I'm going to try to use, I will use, you can use even the XV88, but you need to darken it a little bit. I still have this one graveyard that will give a good tonality there. Let's see if it's still alive, this color. Yeah, it's still alive. I will try this one. Because I'm really enjoying painting these guys. The flame, okay. The flame I used, I start with Iriel yellow. Okay, this was the base yellow. Then I used Fire Dragon Bright, and it looks more yellow in the screen than in real life. It's a little bit more orangey. I use as well 12 layer orange. So what I did is a gradient of color, and the last orange, the one I was just using a moment ago, was Wild Rider Red. It's the one at the end. I like this one because it has an orange tonality. This red, okay. And then at the end, I use a little bit of brown. I don't remember because I have it in my white palette mixed with orange. And what I did here to make it brighter on the middle, once I have done all the gradient, I take orange and I take this part of the flames like that. And then I take the dawn yellow, the super bright, and I put it in some of the recesses here to increase the brightness in the core of the fire. Okay, and I was playing with wet blending and then layering on the fire to have all these tones. And in the screen, it looks a little bit more yellow than it looks in real life, at least in my screen. Okay, let's start. I will first do the trousers. So normally when I highlight, I like to start from the most inaccessible part. Normally, the order for me to paint, I start with this part here because it's the part that is more difficult access. And then I will start moving. The jacket should be one of the last things to do because it's very accessible. Okay, so now what I will do is I will exaggerate a little bit more the highlights. And this guy will go very, yeah, this, I wanted to play only with brown tones as he's wearing almost leather clothes for everything. Thanks a lot, Boldor. The Super Punking Man. Nice. Thank you a lot. And thanks a lot for joining. Super Punking Man. So the tricky part of this guy is to play with the different tones of the brown. So you can distinguish the different parts, right? You can create enough contrast of the different parts. So for example, this hat has a belt here. I will do it in a more orangey brown. To make it look different. Oops, sorry. And put a very thin bright that they can see. And the other thing I did, as you can see, I put a little bit of orange here in the metallic because the metallic will be high reflective, as well here on the side of the hat. And as well, I will highlight more orange on the top of the glove. Okay, so what you want to do is this part have to be even more highlighted because the light. I'm not using no dead glow or brown, but it's a very orangey brown. You want to highlight especially the upper part of the glove. And take it off because sometimes when you try to do the top, it's not helping there. I like to put it on the table. I want to do like that. Then the bottom, I keep it darker. So this helps. I just do the edge. Well, this leather will be a little bit weathered at the edge, and also helps us to create definition between the parts. Again, I'm using now more from brown, that is a little bit darker. On the other fingers, I will use more from brown instead of the deck cloud because it's a little bit darker. So I will darken this one. Light. Now I will do this part here. No worries. Thanks a lot, Boglor, for the donation. It's very appreciated. I'm glad that you see you here again. I'm really happy when some of you are coming back. I recognize the names. It's like waiting and long distance. It's like long distance friends, right? Sharing the same hobby. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm really happy. So I'm going to use no snag by leather. This is another layer. You can see you have the trousers and then you have like under jacket or something like that. I don't know exactly what this is supposed to be. Maybe it's It's a t-shirt or shirt. Okay, I will not tell anyone like that. But I'm really happy to see you here. And if anytime do you have anything that you would like to see in a weekly painting or something like that, just let me know. And if you have any, I can do. I think I have a video explaining how I do fire. I will look for that and share it with you the link. Or I think I should have a video explaining how I do the fire. If I find that I think I did it in the past, but maybe it was a long time ago. If not, when I have the opportunity, I will do a new video on how to do fire. Because I don't have any flame here, no. I don't think I have any flaming guy. No, to do it. I will look for that, and I will show you how to do it. Yeah. So coming back to Nova, so we talked about the Voltan, the League of Voltan, the new Berserkers. Then we have seen the Corn, and then in Age of Sigmar, we have seen the new ogre that is coming, a new hunter ogre. I'm not super fan of the man eaters. So, but I think it's, and then we will have a new book for the behemoth, and we have expansion of the kit, because what they will do is they will create new what's it called? New spruce that will be added to the kit that is already existing, so you can build a fourth option of the big guy. But I think there will be a moment they will need to do a full new model, because if I'm not wrong, they are just changing. The lights are the same for all of them. But I'm not that familiar with this kit, so all of them will have a similar working there. So, but it's good to see that the Sons of Behemoth are having some love, and as well the ogres. So more destruction is coming. And yeah. And then we are going to have then we had the chaos, the slaves to darkness reveals. And these chosen were incredible. They were really nice. I think the chosen were really nice. So if I'm not wrong, the chosen will come in winter. So I expect the chosen will come, I would say maybe after Christmas. Because winter starts with the Christmas almost, right? Winter is starting the 22nd of December. So the Berserkers and the Slaves to Darkness, I think they will come next year. The one thing I like to do when we have leather parts is to add some scratches. And if you're wondering what brush I'm using, this brush is not in the market, okay? This is this brush is the same as this one. Is the Winsor and Newton Series 7, but this has been used so many times that you can see the tip is a little bit smaller. I don't know where. Here you can see the tips, so it's much smaller tip. I'm using it when I need really to go for very thin lines. So, and this brush have paint a lot of hours already. So these brushes are expensive, but they work for a long, long time. So if you count the hours of service, I think at the end it's worth it. Of course, these guys, these cheap guys from China, here you can see, I don't know what they say there, um, are good, but you have seen that the tip it's bending very easily. But they also do a good service, so it's more for when I don't want to do detail painting. That are the brushes I use. So I'm trying to be more careful with the brushes and only use the good brushes when they are really needed. Let's do the face. Here the face is going to be a little bit of a challenge. Knows when you want to put back to the handle. Because it's quite hidden. What I will do, in case you were wondering, I'm keeping this guy. This is why I have not done the tutorial on this guy. This is the other witch hunter from Core City. I will do a full tutorial on this guy, okay? And the painting techniques are going to be almost the same. I want to paint them looking almost the same. I like the same look for the witch hunters. So this is why I have not done the tutorial on this guy, because I'm planning to do it on another witch hunter that will come later. Okay, but will be a tutorial. Anyway, from this warband, you will have 3 tutorials. I'm doing tutorial on this guy, okay, who is the bodyguard of the big guy from the warband. I will do a tutorial on how to do the Oakville looking like dog. Okay, so this is some work that I'm working on. And then I'm still wondering how many meters I will use for tutorial from the core city. But I think I will at least I will do the witch hunter. I will do one tutorial. I will do a Radukar. I think I will do it as a tutorial as well. This guy looks very interesting to make tutorials on skin tones. Oops, I almost make here a big mess. I just dropped the dog again. Okay, this is why I have not done a tutorial on these guys, because I think Radukar will cover most of the things. Okay, it's going to be interesting to make a white wolf here. I think maybe one white, and the only thing is I don't know what is one wolf and what is the other wolf. So most likely both have to be in white. I cannot appreciate where is the finishing and ending of each wolf that he's having at the back. And then we also have this guy that is going to be quite interesting. Okay, with the I don't know if this what animal. This looks more like a fox. So there will be enough tutorials coming in the channel, and this can maybe will slow down my work, but I think they will be interesting. Yeah, I talked this about at the beginning also, but I will explain again. So it divided. I feel a little bit divided on the, because I prefer the expansions, to be fair, with miniatures. And at the beginning, I thought, oh, nice, they put all these vampires will come before reading the article. And when I read the article and I realized they were not miniatures, I feel a little bit disappointed. Okay, but then I understand that a lot of people will have the miniatures, right? Especially if you are a vampire collector and you bought Pure City from the beginning, like if you were lucky, like I was, in a way. So it's why you want to buy again the miniatures for a second time, right? I understand. I understand this position as well. So then I understand that they did that. What I think can be a good compromise if they have launched together with the expansion. How it's called this? So they can do it. They can launch the expansion and then like a bundle, right? Because for me the if you release then a bundle with the miniature for the people that don't have them, with some discount, I think will be a good compromise, right? On the other side, what I will do, I explained at the beginning. So I will buy most likely the new Raducar, okay, the bigger one. So the evolution of this guy. So I think I will buy this miniature. And for the vampires, I have the vampires from Warhammer Underworlds. So in the worst case, I can use the vampires from the Warhammer Underworlds if I want to minimize the purchasing of miniatures. Although I have to say, I like the vampire miniatures as well. The other option is you don't need to buy them all at the beginning. But I'm very yeah, I think they should have done this, no? A bundle of miniatures and the rules. Also, I want to know how expensive the rules will be, right? This expansion. I think my feeling is should not be more expensive than a battle tome. So I will buy the expansion. Most likely, yes. I will buy all the miniatures. I still need to think because as I have the vampires from the Warhammer Underworlds, and I also have one of the vampires from a metal vampire from the vampire cones in fantasy. I have miniatures to represent these things. So most likely I will not need to buy more miniatures if I don't want it. A part of the evolution of the Raducar on the other side is a great miniature. So I don't have any problem to have him in my collection. So, but it's a little bit, I think they should release a bundle with some discount for the people that does not have the miniatures. What I think I happened is they were supposed to be in expansion, but for any reason they had problems with the release of the Curse City, we will never know what was the real problem they had there, but we know that they had some problems at the release, and this expansion, then they reshuffle how they will do the releases of the Vampire Counts or the Soul Blight, and they decide to release the miniatures in the alone ahead of time, because most likely the idea was, okay, we release Curse City, we release the expansion, and then we release the miniatures independently. I think they decide to go the other way around because they had the problem with the Curse City, and instead of waiting to solve the problem with the Curse City, they decided to do it in that way. So these are things still consequences of the problem they have with the Curse City. Again, I don't have any proof of that. It's just my personal opinion. But normally they do that, right? Normally, what they do when they release, if you look, normally they release first the new miniatures in a box, and after that they release it without the expansion, right? What I was surprised is they never released the miniatures from the Blackstone Fortress, and I think they cannot release the miniatures from the Blackstone Fortress because they don't belong to any codex. You don't have a codex of Unaline. And this is why I think they did like that. In what they do now in Core City is they are also creating rules. They link the characters to a faction, so they can also release the characters with the faction. So I'm adding some gray here so he can look as an unshaved guy. Okay. For the lip, I will use Boogman Glow. I'm going to like highlight on the nose, and the white in the eye is too big. I will use a little bit of Boogman Glow. So this is how the face looks like. Yeah, when I'm painting faces, I sometimes am very focused, and I'm not talking that much. Let's see if we can finalize this miniature in this live. No, we need to correct the hack. I think now it should be okay. We can have a little bit of darker gray. A little bit of stone bevel for a little bit of brown tonality. And then the last thing we have seen in, or not the last thing, but the last thing I did not talk yet from Nova was the new Abaddon, sorry, Horus. The new Horus we have seen there. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that they will create new Primarchs. Or they call it Primarchs Ascended or something like that. I wasn't expecting that. I was surprised. I think the new Minotaur looks very, very nice. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I can start now collecting the Primarchs. I'm not sure. I have too many things that I would like to do that I don't have time for everything. And at the end, I have to be choiceful. And I'm also trying to reduce my pile of shame. That I try to be more and more selective on what I'm buying. I was also wondering if I will buy the new Kill Team box, and at the end I decided I will not do it. Again, I will just go for the rules as I did for all the other expansions. And the reason is I already have a lot of 2D terrain from Necromunda, from Kill Team Arena, that I can use. And to for the 2D games, and I even have the Rock Trader expansion that was as well had 2D terrain. So with all this terrain, I have enough to play 2D games. So I just need the rules. And I'm not fan of the Croods. I like a lot the Navy Warband, but I don't like the Croods. But I'm not into the Croods. To be fair, I'm Tau Croods and all this type of. I don't like this. I never been fan of the faction of the Tau, neither the Croods. So I will do the same strategy that they did for all the other expansions. I will look for the rulebook, and that's all. And I'm pretty sure they will release the rulebook later on. But I have the starter terrain from Necromunda, the 2D. I have the expansion tales they released for the Necromunda. And I have the 2D terrain from Kill Team Arena and the 2D terrain from the Rogue Trader. And then on top, I have the, if I need, the the Blackstone Fortress terrain that you can also use it. I have the Space Hull terrain. So with all this, I can make a very big 2D battlefield with corridors, with rooms. So I have the Space Hull from the 90s. Okay. So with all that, you can create as well 2D terrain, and I don't need to have the high walls. I even think that to play on a 2D type of battlefield, I know that the walls they look nicer, but from playability point of view, I think it's better not to have the walls. It's it's better. You have better access. I have a lot. I have a lot of doors uh, to place. Right. I have a lot of these to be used from Necromunda, from Arena again. So I have a lot of these doors. So I have a lot of 2D a lot of 2D terrain and boards. When I thought that in that way, I decided that I will not. I will just look for the rule book. Because on top I have enough warbands to play kill team. So I can make a warband very easy of any space marines, chaos. I can make a warband of. I have the novice from the Sisters of Battle. This is the only warband I really bought. And I will have the two warbands from the Rock Trader. So with that, I have enough to play kill team, and I don't need to invest in another warband. In another box, sorry. In another box with two new warbands. So the color I end up using for the highlight, just in case you are wondering which color this is this one. And I don't think it's done. I need to find what is the equivalent because Baneblade Brown is not exactly the same. It's not Baneblade Brown. It's lighter. Okay. It's a darker tone of the Baneblade Brown. It's between Baneblade Brown and XV88. See, it's not XV88 neither. Similar, but it's not the same. So this is the color I'm using. And then I'm also using Dryad Bark. So what I will do, what I like to do is at the edge, I want to give the impression of weathered leather. Sometimes the handle is not helping me. I don't know why. I was so used to paint without handle that sometimes I need to remove it from the handle to feel more comfortable. Is that I like to have the miniature supported on the table to have more rush control. So a lot of times I decided to remove from the handle. I also will use black when I want to correct a very deep shade like this one. With a small part will not be noticeable. And now what we can do is to add some scratches. what I will do first is I will do more highlight here. When I want a softer highlight, what I will do is I will mix dried bark with the graveyard. One of the difficult things when you're doing scratches and damages on is to try to be as random as possible, but it's very easy that we are not random. That we almost create a pattern, and so you have to be careful with that. Now I will end up, I will add the highlights of the jacket. I'm really enjoying a lot painting this miniature. There we go. And I will keep the orange look on the top on this part because of the flames. Where do you want to put it? I'm gonna put it. Yes, using the Baneblade brown, you can see it's much lighter. Only using for the most extreme highlights. And we can use it as well to increase the weathering. See, I need to correct this. I will use black here. Okay. I don't want to have really Still show. And I will use now Baneblade Brown. We turn it upside down. And we do the same that we have done with the other brown. But we don't need to do all the sections, just some of them. The weathering will not happen in the same way in all the jacket, in all the parts. And these are the type of things that I really enjoy doing. When you're trying to do these weathering techniques and so on, I like a lot. Let me see, 6. Let's do all this. These guys are having a lot of bells and a lot of things. I like because they have a lot of detail, but for me they don't look um, over the tent. Because I like to match this type of aesthetic. I also want to play, I want to play, to talk. This week I tested the, I played 2 games of Warhammer Underworlds. I played the 2 games using the Exile Dead, the Electrify Zombies, or the Frankenstein Zombies as you wanted to call it. And they're quite interesting to play. I enjoy it. I think they are quite strong as well. I play against the Hexbane and with Wolf. I have to say, as the first time that you use a warband, we both did a lot of mistakes. And I played the second game against the Shadeborn, the followers of Morati. And this game, I think, yeah, the followers of Morati really were crushed. But they play as a vampire, as a zombie horde have to play. So you go with, you have to have all your zombies together and swarm opponent by opponent. So you don't want to split your warband. You want to keep your warband as one big block, and they can be fast, right? Because you have this special action, so you have to be very careful. It's a warband that is very dependent on the leader, so you really have to protect the leader. And if you play against them, I think your main objective is to kill the leader and the other guy that can resurrect the Regulus. Okay, So it's the best way to play against them. If you cannot reach the leader, then they can be quite tough. So the leader is the strength and the weakness at the same time of this warband. Because if you lose the leader, most likely you will lose the game. So when I play against them with my scavenge, I went straight forward to kill the leader. Because it's really the big threat with the ability. And once the two leaders were shut down, then the warband is not efficient anymore. So if you have a shooting ability, try to shoot the leader. So I guess they can suffer a lot against warbands like the shooting guys of the Stormcast Eternals. Can be also quite have difficult times maybe against the elf. And with the high mobility warband they will also have difficulties. These are scratches that are not, so you can make two tonality of scratches. We should do as well some scratches under the ones going to be darker. Now what I will do, I will take noon oil and I will darken a little bit the piston. And now you see I did a mistake there. Some brown. A little bit of lemon as well on this. Now I need to wait at this dries because I want to highlight the metals and I will be done. So while I'm waiting that this dries, we can do, and here we are going to use one of our cheapest brushes and as well quite a big brush at the same time. Not the cheapest, but one of my most weathered brushes. This is this one. And I will put this on a base. I almost killed him before. Yeah, okay. And I will apply a wash of Agate Earthshade over the whole miniature. And I will moisture. Just checking one thing first. And if you're joining this later, everyone is welcome to comment here, to make questions. The idea of doing that is to have an interactive moment. Everything is going to be wash. Everything. Especially the axe that is too brown now. You can see now that they weathered the nickel oxide. I like to wash it after that because I don't want to be as blue as it is normally, like this from the pot. I like it to tone down a little bit the color. Let me see. I find these mirrors very nice. Very Mongolish as well. Or Asiatic. You can see once we apply here the agate air shade, all this will improve. Because all the colors will look more integrated. And I know here on this dark brown will not do any difference, but I wash everything this time. Later on, we are going to make the axe a little bit brighter in some parts. But at the end, this one axe halberd is a full arm. I don't know if it's ready, should be very weathered and in bad shape, rusted and so on, right? So, as well as the keys, because portion of the key is on the right. I like so much doing how the washers work. For me, this was one of the biggest step changes when they were released. I was in the hobby before these washes exist and was really a game changer. This was even more game changer than the contest paints. meter will be ready now for highlights and finalizing. So maybe I will have 2 more miniatures finished today or this weekend. Chair is a little bit noisy. What movement I do? Here the wash is already dry. So what we are going to do, we are going to take now iron breaker. This is like Belcher, no? And one iron breaker a little bit brighter. And we are going to do some mask and match. But I just find here a small mistake. And it's time for iron breaker. As you can see, I'm just doing edge highlight. I'm leaving some parts really dark. Like that. So this week that will start, no, well, will start tomorrow. I will not be able maybe to put as many videos as I normally put because I will be traveling. So I will be out for working reasons. So I will not be able to do as many videos as I normally do. So I don't know if I will be able to finalize the tutorial I was working on this witch hunters before I'm leaving, more likely not. So the tutorial will come. I expect to do it by end of the week. I will be 2 nights away. Driving to Germany. And my son is coming. Yes. So I will need to start finalizing this live show. But first I wanted to finalize the work on this guy. So I think now it's done. At hammer, the hammer, the hammer. So now we'll do slide there. The paint and the paint. Just highlight a little bit this belt. Just a little bit. It's important. I play a lot with the highlights on this miniature to show different details. As everything is on browns, you need to find your strategy to show all the different details the miniature have. And I think with that, we can get this miniature finalized. So, yeah, I think I will finalize here the tutorial. Well, sorry, the live show. I want to thank um, all of you that have joined in the chat today. I really appreciate seeing you in the chat, um, talking about the hobby. I think it's great that your contributions in the chat and so on. So thank you very much, 12 Neve, Jacob, Elric, Bogdor. Thank you very much for joining. Let me put my camera on so I can say goodbye properly. So that's all for today. Yeah, this is what I finalized tonight. Quite happy. Well, tonight this afternoon, sorry. Quite happy how he looks like, and I think it's a nice miniature, and I hope it's doing great on the games of Warhammer Underworlds. So that's all for today. So thanks a lot for joining. Special thanks to Bogdor for the donation. I really appreciate it. And yeah, and anyway, if you are watching this not live, you're watching this as a record video. I hope you have enjoyed. And yeah, I will put more videos and more content soon. So that's all for now. So as usual, thanks a lot for watching. and see you again later. Bye, and have a great weekend.